What's up, y'all? It's your boy QP and my pal Heather Hurt. Nerds rule the world. We just got out of a press screening for How to Train Your Dragon. Initial thoughts coming out of the screening, Heather.
I loved it. How to Train Your Dragon is one of my favorite animated films. I have a nightlight with me right now to celebrate, and I'm super excited. I loved it. I was so happy to see it. It is a little longer than the animated version, but that's okay because it's just more to love.
Yes. A little bit longer, but again, like she said, more to love. I thought it was dope. I thought they saw what Disney was doing in their translations, so they stuck to what is very important. It's about the dragons. It's about the adventure. I thought it was great. But my biggest thought that I wanted to share is there was a lot of drama, a lot of beef about my girl, Astrid.
Oh, God.
Nico Parker killed it. I thought she was amazing. She did the job. She handled it. So all the haters, you can eat one. But we're about to run up. We're going to have a full review. So look forward to Nerds Rule the World. Shout out to my pal Heather. It's your boy QP. Nerds Rule the World. Yeah.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the NRW, where nerds rule the world. I am Heather Hurt. That is QP. And I am ready to talk about live action Toothless. I am so ready to talk about live action Toothless. QP and I have been very busy with personal life things and work things that we have not been able to talk about it, even though we got to watch this movie early, thanks to DreamWorks and our wonderful PR teams that we work with. And we have been waiting for this one. We want to talk about it. With that being said, let's get through the trailer so we can just jump right on in.
We're all descendants of the finest dragon fighters from everywhere the Vikings ever traveled. These beasts are a threat to all of our lands. It's time, Hiccup.
I have to kill you. I will, because I'm a Viking. Hear that? I'm a Viking! It's okay. I won't hurt you. Maybe they're not as bad as we think they are.
In case you forgot, our parents' war is about to become ours. Figure out which side you're on.
They've killed hundreds of us!
And we've killed thousands of them! Toothless, no! She's a friend! You all need to see this. I'm not one of them.
Wow, you've lost everything. Your father, your tribe, your best friend. What are you gonna do about it?
Probably something stupid.
Well, you've already done that.
It's something crazy. What's up to us?
Us?
Stick with me. All right, bud, you ready? Come on! Here it comes!
The terrible terror!
It's like the size of my...
Yeah, that's How to Train Your Dragon live action, not the animated one, which we're going to talk about the comparisons between the two, especially since this film was written and directed by the same people who gave us the original series, started in 2010. I don't think I need to talk too much about this plot, not only because most people know it. We're going to talk spoilers. By the time this airs, it's already been out for a couple of weeks. But the movie is well known, well beloved. So if you haven't watched How to Train Your Dragon, turn this off and go do your due diligence and go do your work and go watch How to Train Your Dragon, because you're missing a good part of your soul. with that, so we do follow Hiccup and Toothless's early adventures where they first meet and become best friends. We get to see Hiccup grow as a young man into a potential chief of his tribe. He fights dragons, but maybe he wants to change that. So with that being said, let's just run straight into the cast and crew. Because once again, if you haven't watched the original, I don't trust you. So please go watch the original. Um, just kidding, sort of. The director is Dean DeBlois, who also co-wrote the script with his original partner, Chris Sanders, who once again, they wrote the original story for DreamWorks. It is based off of the book by Cressida Cowell, and it's also based off the original series with William Davies. The cast is the main cast is Mason Thames, I'm sorry, who plays Hiccup. Nico Parker, who plays Astrid. Gerard Butler is returning as Stoick, as well as Nick Frost, who returns as Gobber. I'm sorry. Gabriel Howell is Snotloot. I'm sorry. Julian Dennison is Fish Legs. Wow, I'm really doing bad on the names today. I have watched this film many times. And Browen James is Rough Nut. The rest of though there are many, many, many people in this cast, one of the great things about this film, I'm just going to say it right now, is there was a complaint about some people not being the right colored skin. Once again, if you're concerned about the skin, the sexuality, about a skin tone, sexuality, or gender in a film, you are talking in public about it, you are not a critic, you are just a bigot. I don't give a shit, because you know what? As long as they do a good job, that's what's important. Nico Parker was highly in the news, and Dean DeBlois had to make a full-out statement because she is a child that people were attacking just because she is 1/4 of a different race, which is absolutely ludicrous. It shouldn't matter what percentage, it shouldn't matter who it is. Do not attack a child no matter what. But with that being said, I do want to talk about one of my favorite elements of this film was that they confronted that right off the bat in the movie when Stoick tells about how his marauding team of Vikings came together from all over the globe, and they made an incredible crew that were there to fight dragons. And I absolutely love that they confronted that right off the bat in this film. So with that being said, and everything else to the side, it takes a whole damn nation to make a film, especially one based off of animation or one that is animated. So with that being said, Kuya P, I'm done word vomiting. What are your initial thoughts?
Amazing. We did a reaction to it. I know you were super anticipating this. My biggest concern, I guess initially, will they pull off this animation to live action, which is what we've all talked about with the Disney stuff. And we all know how we feel about that. Most people hate the live action translations with the Disney stuff. So will they learn these lessons over on the DreamWorks side to do this? From what we saw of the trailer, it looks like they were accomplishing that. So my hopes initially, will they do that when I finally see this film? And we'll get into that with the review.
Absolutely. And it's the same. This is once again one of my favorites, and even though I butchered all the names because everything was on Word, everything was marked as incorrect because, fish legs isn't actually a word in the English dictionary. Who would have thought about that? Or rough nut for one of those things. But with that being said, I was really nervous because though not all of the Disney live actions are the same, though they are not made the same, though they have different stories and they're with different people, we have been disappointed. And I did not want them to do the same thing with this film. I absolutely love Toothless. He is one of my favorite animated characters. Yes, in my mind, he is better than Grogu.
Ooh.
I made that argument.
Ooh.
I love him more.
Ooh.
I'm not saying that they're far apart in my calculations, but Toothless is pretty high up there for me. So with that being said, I was really, really nervous. And you and Kuya P and I are actually going to talk about the differences between them here in a second. So I don't want you to talk about Kuya P. When I ask you about your review, please do not talk about the variances between the types of live action right now, because I think that's a conversation that I like to have outside of the regular review. So with Kuya P, munching for a second, give him a minute. It's lunchtime, guys. It's lunchtime. Goofy, what are your thoughts, overall thoughts about this film?
I enjoyed it. I think they did a damn good job. The dragons look like dragons. See this in IMAX. See this in Dolby Surround Sound. Get that feel. And actually, last year I saw Red One for the first time in that 4X experience that I believe Regal does, and you get like they expand out the screen a bit. It's really immersive, and they also put you in these seats that move and shake and spit out air and water and all that to like make you feel like you're in the film. This is that type of a movie that I would want to do a 4X experience in, because I think they just captured this world that we know and love from How to Train Your Dragon so well that I get motion sickness, y'all. I'd be willing to do that to if I were to rewatch this film again because it's so immersive. I think they did a damn good job with this film. Those are my thoughts on this. So well cast, so beautiful. When they're flying on the dragon, when you're going up and down, it's just it's beautiful. And I would love to have that additional immersive experience in that 4X experience that Regal provides. And again, we're not being paid by Regal, y'all, but hey, Regal, we'd love a sponsorship. That would be really cool in that effect. But we saw this, I believe, in IMAX. Heather, is what we saw this in? Or
Yeah,
is it
we
Dolby?
saw this in IMAX. No, we watched
You know,
it. We watched it in IMAX.
and that was dope. IMAX, you see it in IMAX. Get that feeling. Because again, the cameras that they use, I believe they shot these with IMAX cameras as well. Like you get that experience. And yeah, it's a joy. It's beautiful, really well done. I love the further expansiveness in regards to certain elements that I think is somewhat different from the animated to this. But it doesn't take away, and it still gives you the true through line, storyline that we love from the original. I think they did a damn good job on this.
Absolutely. And I actually want to touch on that real quick. A trigger warning for those of you who also have motion sickness. I have worse motion sickness than Kuya. And there were times, especially if you see this in IMAX, I think it's actually by the time this comes out, I think it's actually out of IMAX. But with that being said, if you do see it in IMAX and you do get motion sickness, you might want to be prepared. There were definitely moments where I felt a little bit nauseous. We do know in the original film that he kind of goes on, that Hiccup does kind of go on a joyride, and that's exactly what happens. So I should have said this probably on my personals already, but I just never got a chance to. But there are some moments where you might feel a little bit motion groggy, especially if you see this in IMAX or in a film like Dolby, or especially in a setting
4X
like 4X.
might make you throw up.
With that being said, my sentiments were that I thought this film was wonderfully cast. I love Gillian Dennison. I absolutely love him to death, and I was so excited to see that he was here. I honestly kind of kept most of this out of my purview. They announced this in like 2019 or 2018 or something like that. So I was happy with who they did announce publicly, but I really didn't pay much attention. I had no idea Gerard Butler is one of my favorite actors. Yes, he is on my list. He is on my hall pass list, and I love him to death. So when I heard that he came back as Stoick, because he played the original voice of Stoick, I was freaking the fuck out. Like, I was so excited about that. Nick Frost is kind of on my shit list right now, and for those of you out there who know what's going on, you know why. But other than that, I love Nick Frost. I was so excited to see that he was back as Gobber, and it was nice to see those small elements brought back in the real world. So with that, I'm going to go straight into that other conversation that I wanted to have with y'all. Live action Disney films, the biggest complaint about them overall is that there is a level of translation that is very different depending on the director. It's not the original film. Lion King was probably the closest thing to a straight adaptation, and there were still many, many elements that differed from from the animated to the live action. It was very personalized depending on the director, depending on the writer. Whereas in this case, it's almost an exact duplicate, and that was on purpose. There have been our conversations with Dean DeBlois and Chris Sanders where they were just like, we have seen the problems with the others, and we know that people love this franchise, and we don't want to do them wrong. So they basically copied and pasted. Yes, there was a little bit more. We actually got to see a little bit more of what was going on with Stoick and his Vikings. They're a little bit more about their war, a little bit more of what we saw. So it is a 2-hour film compared to the original 1 hour and 30-minute film, almost a 2-hour film, but With that being said, other than some very minor changes, this is a copy, almost a copy and paste film from digital to live action. So this is where my question to you, Cleope, comes up, and I think it's an important conversation for all of us to have. Did that kind of make this film a bit boring? Did already knowing exactly what was going to happen, having no differences, is that better? Having something that is exact match that will fill up all of the same, all the same heart holes for, especially for a new viewer who might not have seen. We had a lot of young kids, even though it was a press screening. We had a lot of family in the audience who probably were too young to even see the first one. But does that make it a little bit too by the book? Kufi,
Great
what are your
question.
thoughts?
Great question. I think for me, I am, while I enjoy the original, and it has been some time, so for me there's been that gap. So it was kind of fresh for me seeing it again, even though I knew the story beats. um it was fine for me. I guess is my answer. So with you bringing this up, I could see for you, because I know you're more of a super fan of this, and you've probably seen it a lot more times repeatedly than I, where I could see that could possibly be boring for maybe you. So I'm very curious how your answer to your own question, because I know you've seen it repeatedly, what that was for you.
My answer is I don't know if I can't tell. I honestly don't know if I would prefer more of a slightly like a slightly a greater variance in the story arc. At the same time, to say that I don't know how much of a variance they can truly make, because the whole process is kind of how you have to go.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it was too safe. Disney, I think with their live actions, they were taking chances. They were trying to tell the same story in a different way. Whereas I think this is going too safe. I really enjoyed this film. I think, once again, I think it was a great cast. I think the graphics look wonderful. And honestly, that's probably one of the reasons that I felt so vomity is they tried to keep as much real visuals in this as possible. And with that being said, I think that's great. I loved it, but I don't know if this might have been too safe by basically following every single thing to the letter, minus some basic appearances. One of the big things I'm going to note is not that one of the main characters was Black. No, I definitely do not give a crap about that. However, one of the big things that I noticed. Oh, and I didn't mention him, Harry Trevaldwin. I think that's how you say his name. I did not mention him, who plays Tough Nut. So we have Rough Nut and Tough Nut. In the cartoon, they are twins. They are truly, truly twins. You can't. There's this joke about how their mom can't even tell them apart. In this one, uh, uh, Bronin, who is she's absolutely beautiful, and I loved her as Rough Nut. She does not look anything like Harry. They are two very different looking humans. So it actually makes the joke funnier to me that they're like, our mom can't even tell us apart. Like, y'all don't look the same. To me, that's hilarious. But other than some minor changes in appearance, I think that they might have played this too safe. I really do. I would have liked to see a little bit more fun. Like I would have liked to see a little bit more change. I think a little bit more change, because I think that with the quality of film that they made, they definitely had room for it. So with that being said, Kuya P, final thoughts.
I enjoyed it. Very curious now with what you just said. Like, what do they need to do? Like, I'm thinking like I'm the producer right now, hearing your comment just now. You want me to, well, they've learned the actions of Disney, right? Here
Yeah.
we are doing this route now. What is the middle now to get the people, like you?
Mhm.
I think right now they have the boilerplate. I think this was fine. They did, we have the basics that we know from the original. We've added a little bit, but it's there. So to me, this is the template. But I worry for the super fans like yourself to also give you that as well. So I'm very curious. So I think I think we won't answer this question in this review, but overall, for me, being a fan of the original, it's a classic. And now this live action, I thought they did a tremendous job. It's a great family film. I can't wait to see this with my family and have them enjoy it. Everything looked great, well cast. Fuck the haters that with on the racist tip. That again, you said it all there. We don't want to give them time. Just all the love to Nicole Parker. Is the young lady Nico Parker.
Nico Parker.
Who I just want to shout her out because she's weathering the drama. Outstanding job, killed it. But yeah, enjoy this film. Can't wait to see it again. And there's a chance I might do that 4X experience. Although I know I'm going to throw up, but it's that
take a pill.
There's certain films you want to see to give you that I think are meant for that experience. And this to me is one of those. It's a ride. It's a thrill ride. It's great. It's a family film. Go check it out. I recommend How to Train Your Dragon.
Okay, absolutely. I do recommend it. I want to say this. I do recommend it. I did enjoy it, and that's really where the conversation is for me right now. I don't know what else. I think that they had room to do more, especially on the side of the Vikings. It was a 2-hour film. I think we could have seen a little bit more. But what a little bit more is, I don't know. And we can have this conversation over and over again because everyone wants something else that they expect, and I don't expect it, but I think that they could have done more with this. I think they played it a little too safe. Other than that, though, I love the heck out of this movie. I brought one of my nightlights with me. He enjoyed the film. You can ask him. I didn't bring him down. I didn't bring him downstairs, but he did enjoy the film. And with that being said, if you've never seen 2 and 3, please also see 2 and 3. They are absolutely wonderful. 2 is probably the weakest of all 3 of the films. Oh no, I lie. 3 is probably the weakest. Anyway,
that gives me that just brought a question forth, if you don't mind, Heather. With what you just said, they're adapting to your question and to your point about what they could have done differently. Would you rather them do something new and different if they were to do another live action How to Train Your Dragon 2 and make a wholly original story for a second one live action, or see them adapt the animated films that they gave?
I would actually like them to. So in this film, we got to, and I mentioned it at the beginning, is we saw Stoick talk about the wider world. In the second film, I do not think they should stray. We do know, or we have been given basic confirmation that they are planning to do the entire trilogy live action, not the TV series. Sorry, guys, but all 3 films live action. Which I'm really hoping, because that means that they might do a fire pit. They do have a fire pit on Disney, so if you want to play during the holiday season, you can get a fire pit from Hiccup's family. But I think that what they should do is they should give opportunity to expand the universe. We do know what happens in film 2, and I'm not going to say it here, but I think that with them moving forward, we could see them develop more and dive more into their wider world. This is fictional. They have so much room that they can do stuff, and I'm really curious to see where they'll go from here. I think number 2 is set in 2 years. I don't think that they're it's right away. Or at least that's the rumor so far. Please prove me wrong. You know what? If you didn't like this movie, if you think that I'm just crazy saying that this was too safe, if you have an opinion of where they could add stuff, please tell us in the section, the comment section below. And if you have heard different rumors, share them with us. We love to know. Send us those links and references. But with that being said, I would love them to grow the world out as we begin to. We get to begin to see it encompass more and more. I was about to say I'm Kuya P. I'm Kuya P. That is Heather Hurt. It's the opposite and switch it. That's Kuya P. I'm Heather Hurt. Please like, subscribe, share all of those things, and we will talk to y'all soon.
Nerds rule the world.
Pleasure chatting with you. Love to all my nerds who rule the world.
Nerds rule the world.
Yes, we do.
Thanks. Nerds rule the world.
Thank you.
I love the nerds ruling the world, so more power to you.
Patrick, what up, man? And yes, they do. Nerds rule the world, kid.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Awesome. Kuya P, nerds rule the world. Hello. Yes, they do.
Yes.
Oh,
Nerds rule the world.
I got.
It's in the title of your show, like Nerds Rule the World. Like, I want more black weirdos on screen, and I don't feel like we ever get to see that very much.
Thank you so much. Nerds do rule the world.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, Nerds rule.
Love it.
Hello, Sarah. Hello, Julian.
Yes.
Rock on. I love it. Thank you so much.
It's good to see you. I love Nerds Rule the World.
But yeah, there's a heavy nerd component, man.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, if you ask me, nerds rule the world. So
Absolutely.
And you're right, nerds do rule the world.
We're just the best.
Yes.
Thank you, ladies.
Nerds so much.
Yes. Thank you, guys.
Bye.
It's your boy Kuya P. Nerds rule the world. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate you.
do. They rule the world all right.
Yes. Take care, Tony. Thank you, guys.